Hey, what is going on guys? It's Tharshey and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're going to be talking about how free to play versus pay to win is Lord of the Rings Rise to War. So hope you guys do enjoy this video, and if you do, please do drop a like, comment and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to turn on those post notifications. Anyway, let's get straight into it. Okay guys, so when we're talking about being free to play versus pay to win in a mobile game like Lord of the Rings Rise to War, we are going to be comparing it to other games that are similar, like Rise of Kingdoms and Game of Thrones Conquest, where, by spending money, you can increase your power by a lot and then dominate the server you're on. And we're also going to talk about how in this game specifically, in Lord of the Rings Rise to War, how, spending a lot of money will help you compared to being free to play. And if you're free to play, or if you're a low spender or medium spender, if that's going to help you and, allow you to keep up, or if not keep up, still contribute and still do decently enough in the game to compare with the big high spenders. Though obviously, someone who spends $1,000 in a game is going to be having, some significant advantage. Otherwise, they wouldn't spend that amount of money. But we're going to be talking about whether by, without spending $1,000 in the game, will you still be able to take on that $1,000 player and at least hold your own, Even if you can't beat him, will you be able to hold your own and do decently? So in Lord of the Rings Rise to War, unlike a lot of other games, for example, and I'm going to be comparing LOTR to Game of Thrones Conquest the most because I played Game of Thrones Conquest for a couple of years and I know the game pretty well. So in Game of Thrones Conquest, you could basically buy gold using real money, and then you could use that gold to speed train troops. So you could buy the resources, you could queue up troops to train, and you could insta finish the training. Buy more resources using gold, which you bought with real money, queue up more troops to train, and insta finish that. And then anything else you wanted, if you wanted good armor or good gear, you could just go buy crafting materials, craft the gear, insta finish it, put it on, and you'd basically just have the absolute best of everything. So in Game of Thrones Conquest, you could get absolutely everything via gold or via real money. Okay. Now in Lord of the Rings Rise to War, obviously, it being a LOTR title, it draws in a lot of people just because it's Lord of the Rings. And Lord of the Rings is a franchise, beloved by all, including myself. I absolutely love Lord of the Rings. So in Lord of the Rings, unlike other mobile games where you can buy everything with real money, you actually cannot buy a lot of stuff here with real money. So for example, when you look at your base, right, and you look at upgrading your base. So as you can see, there's a whole lot of stuff you can upgrade, and yes, you can speed it up using, using speed ups, or you can buy speed ups using gems, and gems you can buy using real money. So technically, you can speed up all these builds using real money, but that doesn't matter. And the reason why is because it may be nice to get this 55 minutes earlier, but at the end of every season, your entire base resets. So like when I'm finished this season and I go into a new season, I'm going to be upgrading my base from level 1 again. So any money I spend to upgrade this quicker this season is just going to be thrown out the drain, because it's going to be helpful this season, to maybe get my apothecary to max level, quicker than I otherwise would be able to. Speaking of that, let's actually upgrade that. And but next season is going to be reset. I'm going to have to upgrade it all the way again. And now the important part is, this all requires resources, If I want to upgrade my main hall to level 9, it's going to cost me 570,000 stone, 342,000 wood, and 370,000 iron. But to get those resources, unlike Game of Thrones Conquest, you cannot buy resources with real money. You cannot buy them with gems. You cannot buy them with gold or any currency like that. The only way to get resources is to capture territory. And, if you capture, for example, this 150 power tile, you'll get 880 wood per an hour. So that's how you get resources. You capture tiles, you get resources per hour over time, and use those resources to upgrade your base and train your troops. So even if I spend $1 million, right, on buying gems, and I use those gems and I buy a crap ton of speed ups, it's not going to matter, because I'm just not going to have the resources. Like, I'm going to sit here with enough speed ups to finish this 26-hour upgrade immediately, but it's not going to help me because I don't have the resources, and there's no way I can spend money to do that. So that is one of the best parts of Rise to War. The fact that all your resources no matter how rich you are IRL, no matter how much of money you want to put into the game, there is no way for you to get more resources by using your money. You know, there's no way for you to buy resources. And now for training troops, so if we go over to the barracks and I want to train troops, right? So let's say I want to train up some, I actually can't because I don't have any free conscription queues, but if I wanted to train up anything, right? So these sentinels, for one command of sentinels, it's going to cost me 4,500 wood, about 4,000 iron and 4,000 food. And if I don't have those resources, once again, I'm just going to have to go capture tiles and let the tiles generate resources for me over time. There's no way for me to buy those resources. It's absolutely no way for me to do that. And even if there was, right? Even if I could buy as much resources as I wanted, there's no way to speed up training. So you can see these troops are training. All I can do is cancel if I want. I can cancel the conscription. I'll get 80% of the resources invested in them back, but that's it. There is no way for me to speed the conscription of these troops up. So if you're a Game of Thrones Conquest player, or a game similar to that, like Rise of Kingdoms, I've heard is pretty much exactly like that. But in Game of Thrones Conquest, if I wanted to, I could just go click on these troops, right, and just go boom and speed it up using gold. And that gold I would have bought with real money. And then I can train up some more, because I could buy the resources with money. And I could speed them up, buy more resources, train them, speed them up. And I could just pump out as many troops as I wanted until I got tired, I ran out of money, my wallet broke, something happened. Maybe my roof fell on me because, whatever. But what I'm trying to say is, while you could do that in Game of Thrones Conquest, there's no way to speed print troops. There's no way to print troops in Lord of the Rings Rise to War. How you make your troops is simple. You get the resources for them, you come over here, you conscript the troops. You wait the full time, okay? There's no way to speed it up. You have to wait the full time for the troops to train. You can speed up how long troops take to train. So like how long those elves will take. Let's say for 3,000 elves, they'll take me 10 hours. So maybe I can bring that down to 9 hours, but it's still going to take me 9 hours every time. And the only way to do that is obviously when you upgrade your quarters. So your hunter's range, which is where you train up your elvish archers from, when you upgrade that to level 9, it's going to speed up the conscription time by 40%. But that is the only way, and everybody gets that, okay? It's not like only I can do that. Everybody in the game can upgrade their quarters to higher levels to make their troops train faster. So the pros about Lord of the Rings Rise to War for a free-to-play player, nobody in the game is going to be able to go and gain unlimited resources, okay? It's absolutely impossible for them to do that. Secondly, nobody's going to be able to go and print out unlimited amounts of troops. Once someone's troops are all dead, it's going to take him time before he gets enough resources to train new troops. And even if he has full resources, because he went into a fight with full resources, even if he has those resources, it's still going to take him time to train up those new troops. There's no way for him to speed that up. And this is something very good because unlike Game of Thrones Conquest, where you'll go to bed, right? Your enemy will be at 10 million power. I wake up the next morning and my enemy is now 30 million power. And I'm like, oh, okay, wow. I went to bed, he had no dragon. I wake up, he's got an adult dragon. I went to bed, he had no gear. I get up, he's got full golden level 50 gear. That's the kind of stuff that happens in Game of Thrones Conquest. So in Lord of the Rings Rise to War, none of that can happen, none of that will happen. Now, you think you heard everything I said, right? And you're wondering to yourself, okay, this sounds like the perfect game. Like, why even spend money? What can you spend money on? It's not going to help me at all. So this is where you do spend money. So obviously, you can go and you can buy gems. Or you could buy respect items. And these respect items help you level up the respect level of your commanders. So when you look at respect level in this game, the higher respect level your commander is, the more skill points you have. So for example, Haldir is respect level 11, which means that on top, he gets 11 extra skill points. So when I'm, keep upgrading his skills now, each skill requires 1 point to upgrade per level. Main skills take 15, sub skills take 7. Now I have 11 extra skill points on Haldir that I can put into whatever I want. So if I had him at respect 25, for example, Yeah, he's 11 right now. If I had been at respect level 25, that would be an extra 14 skill points. So instead of it being like this now, I would probably have 14 skill points in silver and alpha as well, just for example. So that is where money can help you, because if you do get an offer in the store that allows you to buy something that gives you respect, for example, commander gift packs like here, or if we look over here, there maybe, yeah, there's all these stuff where you can buy 300 respect for each commander for 200 rand, or 20 bucks, $20 if you're looking in that currency. And I also have to buy it in that currency if I want. But yeah, so you can buy respect for your commanders to upgrade the respect, but 300 respect is literally not much. Like, you buy 300 respect, it takes 1,700 for me to go from level 11 to level 12. So that 300 respect is going to be absolutely nothing, and it's going to cost me a lot. So you can buy respect for your commanders, but the biggest selling point in terms of the biggest way for you to use your money to get a competitive advantage in the game is to buy gems or buy matham medals, which is the stuff over here, matham medals, and then you use that to open chests. So obviously this game has a loot box system, I guess you would say, or chest opening system. And the reason why you open these chests now, or the reason why you spend, you know, $1,000 buying gems and then converting the gems into matham medals, over here you can convert it, and then using those matham medals to open these chests, is because you get gear and you get respect items from it. So you can see you can get commander respect. So obviously if I get a whole lot of respect, if I get like 20,000 respect for my Galadriel, I'm going to go and be able to upgrade it to a very high respect level, which means I'll get all those extra skill points. So if I have a respect level 25 Galadriel against a respect level 1 Galadriel, you know, my Galadriel is going to have a whole lot more skills than that level 1 Galadriel. I mean, the respect level 1 Galadriel, because I've got those bonus 25 skill points. The second thing is equipment. So you need equipment for your commanders. Equipment gives your commanders different buffs. So like this, the reach of the Riddermark, the spear, right? It's a weapon. And if I put this on my commander without, you know, upgrading it at all, my commander will have 10 more might, 10 more speed, and the army speed of any mounted units on that commander will be increased by 8. So by having better equipment, it allows your commander to be more effective in combat or even in PvP. I mean, in PvE. So yeah. So like if we look at my A1, right? This gear that I have on her, it gives, my sword gives her plus 24 might, plus 18 speed. My chest piece gives a plus 30 might, plus 36 speed. And the special ability gives an extra 6 speed. My commander as helmet gives my commander 24 more might, 24 more speed. It gives any mounted units on her 15 more defense, and it makes all my units, so my entire army on Aowen is immune to madness for 3 rounds. So that's how your gear helps you. So in Lord of the Rings Rise to War, the biggest way that spending money helps is by being able to open a lot of chests and hopefully get a lot of good gear. By getting a lot of good gear, you can then put it on a commander and make your commander's stats very high, because might increases the amount of damage that your army does. Focus increases the damage reduction your army gets, and speed increases it affects your turn order. So if your commander has 500 speed and enemy commander has 499 speed, your commander will attack first in the round. So obviously you get to hit first, do damage, and you know the enemy will have fewer units or whatever when it's attacking you. So that's the big sell point. When you spend money in Lord of the Rings Rise to War, the only way you can get a competitive advantage by spending a lot of money is to open a lot of chests and get very good gear, so that, you know, if you're someone with all max level, max strengthened, max refined golden gear against someone with just unstrengthened, unrefined blue gear, your commander, even if they're the same level, at the same respect level with the same troops and stuff, you're gonna absolutely destroy that commander, just because your gear is so much better. So your army is going to be dealing a lot more damage, you're going to be taking less damage, you're going to be attacking fast, etc. But that being said, so now that you know what you can use money for in this game, what you can't use money for in this game, now how big a difference does it make? So, well, if obviously you have really powerful gear. So let's look at Gimli, for example, right? If you go spend a lot of money and you're able to go and get like a piece of golden gear like this, that's fully strengthened, and unfortunately mine is not fully refined, but also fully refined, right? That's obviously going to be good for your commander. He's going to make him much stronger. But that being said, now if you're a free to play player, right, and you just focus on, well, you see a lot of people spread their gear out between a lot of commanders, right? But if you're a free to play player, you can compete with that guy with full golden gear. So my Gimli, for example, he's got a lot of golden gear, he's got some purple, right? He's a pretty strong commander. And I spend money every season. I do buy the season pass, and I buy one or two of the limited gift packs, etc. If you're a completely free to play player though, you can compete with me. Yes, you can compete with me without having spent a single cent. All you do is to compete with someone who spends a lot of money in PvP. I'm talking now. I mean, you could also just be helpful to your team by pathing to objectives, bouncing enemy players, etc. But in direct PvP, the way you compete is you focus all your gear. So if you're a free-to-play player, you're still going to be getting some Master medals. You're still going to be getting some gems. You won't have as much as I do, obviously. But when you start a new season, there's a lot of different objectives and stuff that give you Master medals. For example, you earn points, right, from doing different challenges like sweep 60 mobs, sweep 80 mobs, attack one structure, upgrade your elite training grounds to level 10, upgrade your ring to level 20 or 40. You're going to get gems as rewards. You can get Master medals as rewards. Those are also going to give you points that gives you more Master medals and stuff. So as a free-to-play player, you're still going to go and be able to open a decent amount of chests, and you're going to get your gear from there. So if you combine all that gear and put it on one commander only, for example, so let's say you get a bunch of purple gear, and instead of giving each person one piece of gear, you put all that gear into strengthening one piece of gear for one commander, or refining one piece of gear for one commander, you're going to be able to eventually get one commander fully equipped with full purple gear like this. So you're going to have fully 5-star strengthened purple gear, and eventually you're going to be able to refine that as well. And that's going to allow you to have, even if you don't have 10 strong commanders, or even you don't have 4 really strong commanders, you're still going to be able to have at least 1 or at least 2 really strong commanders that are going to be able to hold their own in PvP. So if I send my AO1, right, with full purple gear against another AO1 with full golden gear, maybe, and obviously same respect level and same troops, maybe that AO1 is going to beat me because she has the full golden gear that gives more might, more speed, more focus, has slightly better effects and stuff. But my AO1 is not just going to go hit that AO1 and just collapse, okay? They're going to have a fight, and my AO1 is still going to do enough damage so that if I reinforce and then attack again with AO1, I'll be able to kill that commander. Or if I have a second commander who's not as strong, but got some decent gear, so let's say like Haldir, his stuff is not really strengthened. This is only 4-star. I mean, it's not the best example, but yeah, if I attack that AO1 with my AO1, I lose the fight, but I do a pretty good amount of damage. I can attack with a second commander, or someone from my alliance can attack with a second commander and do enough damage to kill the enemy commander. So I've rambled on for very long. Let me just wrap this all up right here, okay? In Lord of the Rings Rise to War, if you're a very big spender, you are going to be able to get amazing gear and have very high spec level commanders, and you're going to be able to unlock all the commanders really easily, probably. If you're a free-to-play player, you're obviously going to take much longer to get good gear and to unlock commanders and level up their respect level. But that being said, if you just go and focus on 1 or 2 commanders, focus on leveling those guys up. So if you get respect for other commanders, you just burn that respect, turn it into tickets, and buy respect for the commanders you use. You focus all your gear on those commanders and stuff. You're going to be able to get 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 really strong, really well-equipped PvP commanders. Now that's being free to play. If you're a medium spender or a low spender who just buys the season pass, that's going to be more gems, more Master medals for you, hopefully more chances to get good gear. You're going to maybe be able to have 3 or 4, really high respect level commanders who are very well equipped and who can do great in PvP. So I think Lord of the Rings Rise to War, from all the mobile games I have played so far, is the most friendly to free-to-play and low-spending players. Okay, I'll repeat that. Lord of the Rings Rise to War, from all the mobile games I have played so far, is the most friendly when it comes to the gap between free-to-play and pay-to-win players, okay? I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, please do drop a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions about this video or about anything I mentioned, do ask me below in the comment section. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video.